This is a Zenith G615W. W, I'm assuming, stands for white. It's in pretty good shape. A couple little stress lines there. And one little one there. Looks good otherwise, pretty much. As far as I know, I didn't really look underneath. Looks fine. Okay. Volume tuning knob seems to be functional. I got this at an antique shop. I went with my mother to this antique shop, and they didn't really have anything I wanted or she wanted, but she managed to cut her finger, and the woman at the shop was nice enough to find some band-aids for her. And I felt really bad because this was actually the second time that happened. For coincidence, nothing else. She had cut her finger previous time we went in there, and of course I didn't buy anything. Anyway, this time they saw this radio, and I don't know. It's fine. It's kind of 50s looking, not really my thing, but for the fact that they were nice enough to help her, I figured I'd buy something. So here it is. I bought this, and it no idea if it works. The cord is in perfect condition. Handle's pretty good though, and it is plaskon. It's not Bakelite, so that makes it a little more unusual. So they're a little harder to find, radios in plaskon, especially without cracks. Unfortunately, this has these little stress marks there. So let's take a look inside. Okay, here is the chassis. Got the speaker at the front. Seems all right. Got this crazy contraption here. So this is kind of interesting in that it has one octal tube and the rest of these new style miniature tubes. This also had a filter capacitor replaced, which this is a Sprague. It might still be good, actually. That might be okay. I will check it out, see if it hums. Yeah, what do we have here? Two capacitors were replaced. This bypass, and I can't tell what that is. Coupling cap has not been changed. That's down there at the bottom. Yeah, so it needs new capacitors. Oh, look at that. Someone redid the dial string. Missed that pulley. Huh. Yeah, so this is high hours. First thing we got to do is put a new cord on it. Like this. TV capacitor. Not for a radio, but for a TV. So clearly someone used the wrong part. No, they liked to do things like that. TV was cool, so you might as well put the cool new word on it. Anyway, so that Sprague there, that's a paper capacitor. It has the yellow writing, so that's definitely no good. And of course, all the other orange Zenith capacitors are bad. And what is going on here? Huh. Well, what did someone do? Oh, great. I have to figure out what happened there. Someone's been in here, clearly. I wonder if they bypassed something. Maybe that... Oh, you know what? Hold on. No, you know what it is? That IF can was replaced. That's not original. Yeah, that was a replacement. I bet this had silver mica disease. Like I said, this has a lot of hours on it. It's in good shape, but it's got a lot of hours, so I bet that's what it was. I'm going to change out some of these capacitors. That electrolytic, I don't know, it might be still good. It's probably from the 60s, maybe 70s. But those Sprague capacitors were pretty good quality. So, you know, for a low voltage, relatively, I mean, this is got a V plus of about 90 volts, so it might be okay. If it is, I'll leave it. Okay, changed all the capacitors, including the TV capacitor. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really love this thing, but this should actually go over here more. That's good. This resistor will get pretty hot, so I want to keep that away from things. Checked a couple resistors. They were relatively close. And yeah, we're gonna power this up in a minute and see what it does. Okay, we're gonna try this out. Go ahead and turn that on. I replaced all the capacitors except for the electrolytic, which is the Sprague. We'll see what it does. I'm gonna go ahead and give it 10 volts. Yeah, we have some dial light illumination. That's good. 30 volts. So I have this on a dim bulb tester here. So the light is lighting up, so that's a good sign. 40 volts. Obviously, if we start hearing a hum, we know that the electrolytics are shot. 60 volts. Bulb is obviously on. Usually around 70 radius when I start hearing 70 volts. That's interesting. I've never had that happen before. Should be playing. I don't hear a hum. Audio section's working. Front end is not working. Okay. Well, I hooked up my signal generator. 718-816-0005. I literally did nothing. Just hooked up my signal generator.
Project manager is needed in New York, New York. A master's degree or foreign equivalent in urban and regional planning or related field is required. Must have 40-hour SST card. Any suitable combination of education, experience, or training will be accepted. Mail resume to Navulis. Attention, Selena Matic.
We've got a tube that's found the problem. This tube is bad. Okay. See if I have another one. So I was looking through a box of tubes and junk, and I found this, and I thought, oh, there's no way it's the right thing. Well, the box is right anyway. So let's see what we've got. Now, it's funny, I had my other little radio over here. I was going to do the good old test for the oscillator where you tune the radio that's not behaving to one frequency, and you look above it for the other to hear the oscillator at 455 above the other on the other set. But I didn't even need to do that here. So let me get this out. That's with the new tube in it, so we'll see if it does anything.
Does it fail to reduce inflation? The vast majority would say massive spending and tax bill, right in the teeth of stagflation. Here is Joe Manchin, asked by Fox News' Hillary Vaughn. Cut 3, go.
It is misleading to call this the Inflation Reduction Act for Americans.
Yes, let's spend more money. Anyway, sounds fantastic. Wow. It's one of those odd circuits with the off-center tapped transformer, I bet, which
hardworking
always sounds awesome.
That there was an invisible hand behind all this. Bill Gates.
No hum at all. So This capacitor's fine. There's no point in changing it. It's old, but it's a good quality spray capacitor. So the few times that I'll play this, it's probably got another 10 years left in it.
He feels your pain if you work on a rig. Feels your pain.
Sensitivities.
One-game lead in the Central over both the Twins.
I turn the tuning knob an eighth of a turn and I get another station. This is definitely sensitive, and I'm not even on full voltage. So okay, cool. Okay, I am gluing the back together. I'm going to try and polish the cabinet. I use this stuff. It works pretty well. Plaskon's not that shiny, but it should come out a little better.
Of Judge. So that's what they're hoping Benintendi will do. And I'll add to that in a moment. First of all, here's Kluber's first pitch. And it's low. The ninth hitter kind of pull up. Big Pharma, Phil.
The federal prosecutor says,
if I can say so, they're just beautiful.
Game series Atlanta.
Unprecedented in history for a vice president. City, I'm Adam Walski, Bloomberg.
It's a little weak on the upper side of the dial.
Take up individual questions in debate.
Oh, you know why? I have something holding the antenna on. I've got it glued.
Watch looks set for a down day here in
Local level. And these attacks on the FBI must stop.
But you get
Calls
the
to
idea.
defund the FBI are just as wrong as calls to defund the police.
Law enforcement officials have warned about an increase in threats and the potential for violent attacks on federal agents or buildings by Trump supporters who believe the FBI went too far investigating the former president. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's family business is facing other legal issues. The New York Times greeting Brett Beatty and offering him advice before the game today. Nimmo's been on the Mets longer than any other position player, and Brandon feeling like Brett Beatty was someone that he should be mentoring. So Nimmo stepping up.
So basically, this one's done. It's just it was a quick repair. Basically, the biggest issue with it was the tube, 12BE6, that was bad, and the old capacitors. That's about it. Cabinet's in nice shape. The only thing wrong with it is this little stress mark here and one over here. Now, where is it? Here. Other than that, it's perfect. So you don't find plaskon in that great shape typically. The heat from the tubes usually causes it to discolor, and it looks good in this one. It's a nice radio.